In the quiet town of Skidmore, Missouri, a shocking crime took place in 2004. A young woman was brutally killed in her own home. Even more horrifying, her unborn baby was taken from her. This tragic event shook her community and left everyone in shock. This is the heartbreaking story of Bobbie Jo Stinnett and the darkness that disrupted a peaceful town. Born on December 4th, 1981, Bobbie Jo grew up in this small town where everyone knew one another and community bonds were incredibly strong. Her upbringing was filled with love and support from her family and friends. She was known to be friendly in her high school and was an active student who participated in many extracurriculars. After high school, Bobbie Jo married Zeb Stinnett, a man who shared her love for animals, especially dogs. Zeb was her rock, and together they built a life filled with love and laughter. The year was 2004. They were expecting their first child, a baby girl. Bobbie Jo was 8 months pregnant, and the excitement of welcoming their daughter was noticeable. Friends and family recall how she would light up whenever she talked about the baby. Bobbie wanted to make sure that her child would have the best start in life, so she meticulously planned everything. Her pregnancy was a joyful time, not just for her and Zeb, but for the whole community. Everyone in Skidmore was looking forward to welcoming the new baby. Her nurturing nature was clear, and there was no doubt she would be an amazing mother. Her love for her baby was already so strong, and she couldn't wait to hold her little girl in her arms. Let's talk about another major aspect of Bobbie Jo's life, her love for animals, especially dogs. She had a particular soft spot for rat terriers. These little dogs are full of energy and affection, perfectly matching Bobbie Jo's lively and caring nature. Bobbie and Zeb dedicated their lives to breeding and raising these dogs. Bobbie Jo wasn't just a breeder, she was a passionate advocate for rat terriers. She shared her knowledge and love for the breed with anyone interested, participating in dog shows and community events. Her dedication to her dogs was well known, and she took pride in her work. Bobbie's enthusiasm extended beyond her home. She was active in online communities where she connected with other dog lovers, offering advice and sharing stories. One such online community was a forum called Ratter Chatter, a place where rat terrier enthusiasts came together to share their love for the breed, exchange tips, and sometimes even arrange sales of puppies. Bobbie Jo, being a passionate breeder, was quite active in this community. It was in this forum that she met someone named Darlene Fisher, who expressed interest in buying one of Bobbie Jo's puppies. Their conversation was friendly and focused on the puppies, and Bobbie Jo was excited about the potential sale. They arranged for Darlene to visit Bobbie Jo's home the next day to see the puppies in person. What Bobbie Jo didn't know was that Darlene Fisher was actually Lisa Montgomery, who had been meticulously planning this interaction. Lisa had created this fake persona to gain Bobbie Jo's trust, which she did successfully through their online conversations. On December 16th, 2004, Lisa drove from her home in Kansas to Skidmore, Missouri, about 170 miles away. She arrived at Bobbie Jo's home, pretending to be a buyer interested in the puppies. Bobbie Jo, who was 8 months pregnant, welcomed her into her home. Once inside, Lisa attacked Bobbie Jo, strangling her with a rope until she lost consciousness. Then, in a horrific act, she used a kitchen knife to cut Bobbie Jo's unborn baby from her womb. After that, Lisa fled the scene with the baby, leaving Bobbie Jo to die from her injuries. The gruesome crime was discovered later when Bobbie Jo's mother, Becky Harper, found her daughter's body and called 911. Unfortunately, Bobbie Jo could not be revived and was pronounced dead. There were no signs of forced entry at the crime scene, indicating that Bobbie Jo likely knew her attacker. Evidence suggested a violent struggle had taken place, and it was clear Bobbie Jo had been attacked from behind. Despite the struggle, she managed to grab some hair from her attacker, which was found in her hand. An Amber Alert was quickly issued for a red Toyota Corolla seen in Bobbie Jo's driveway, in hopes of enlisting the public's help. Initially, the Amber Alert request was denied because it had never been used for an unborn child before. However, Congressman Sam Graves intervened, and the alert was eventually granted. Word spread quickly on the Ratter Chatter forum about Bobbie Jo's tragic death. One member remembered that a woman named Darlene had contacted Bobbie Jo about buying a puppy the day before the murder. This information was important, and the police were able to trace Darlene's IP address to a home in Melvin, Kansas, belonging to Lisa and Kevin Montgomery. On December 17, 2004, police went to Lisa Montgomery's farmhouse in Melvin, Kansas. They noticed a car matching the description from the Amber Alert outside the house. Inside, they found Lisa watching TV and holding a newborn baby she had named Abigail. At first, Lisa claimed she had given birth at a nearby birthing center, but her story quickly unraveled. Eventually, Lisa confessed to the crime, admitting she had attacked Bobbie Jo and taken the baby. Lisa Montgomery was arrested on that day, and the baby, Victoria Jo, was returned to her father, Zeb Stinnett. But who is this woman, and why did she do this? Born on February 27, 1968, Lisa's early years were filled with sadness and instability. Her childhood was far from idyllic. It was riddled with abuse, neglect, and trauma. These early experiences would shape her life in profound ways, setting her on a path that would eventually intersect tragically with Bobbie Jo's. She struggled with her mental health from a young age, and she experienced severe psychological issues, including episodes of delusional thinking and deep depression. Despite these struggles, she tried to escape the chaotic home environment by marrying her stepbrother, Carl Bowman, in 1986, when she was only 18. She saw this as her way out, but sadly, the relationship did not provide the escape from violence that she had hoped for, as Carl was just as abusive. They already had 3 kids when she got pregnant again in 1990. Their last child was born 2 months early, and the doctors were worried. They didn't think Lisa could carry another pregnancy to term, so they suggested she get her tubes tied. Lisa was super hesitant about this. She really wanted to have more kids and wasn't ready to make that decision. Her husband and her mother insisted that she needed to get the procedure done and essentially forced her into it. Lisa ended up going through with it. She was devastated because she wanted to have more kids, not necessarily because she loved children, but because she loved being pregnant. After the procedure, Lisa started to experience some delusions and pretend to be pregnant. Carl and her used to fight a lot, and they ultimately broke up for good in 1998. After this, Lisa took her 4 children to live with Kevin Montgomery, her new partner who had 3 children of his own and lived with his parents. Lisa and Kevin got married in 2000. During their marriage, Lisa claimed to be pregnant 3 different times, the last time being in 2004 with a due date of January 16th. She used to get dressed in maternity clothes and talked about her upcoming due dates. Kevin didn't know that Lisa had her tubes tied, so he believed her each time she said she was pregnant. He had no reason to doubt her and trusted her completely. Lisa lied to him about having an abortion one time and a miscarriage another time. Kevin didn't know what to say and accepted her explanations. This is very different from her ex-husband. When he discovered that she was lying to her new man, he wanted to use this to his advantage. He planned to expose her lies in court to gain custody of their children. The custody hearing was set for January 25, 2005, and Carl intended to reveal the truth about Lisa's fabrications to make her look bad and take the kids away from her. In November 2004, Lisa called Carl to tell him she was going to prove him wrong. She had an unusual air of confidence about her. It's speculated that due to her long history of trauma and severe mental illness, Lisa felt extreme pressure to produce a baby. This was to counter the accusations of lying about her pregnancies and to stop Carl from getting custody of their children. This intense pressure is believed to be why she went and committed the crime against Bobbie Jo Stinnett. Lisa needed to produce a baby for the upcoming custody trial. Her ex-husband did not understand the source of her confidence, but by now we all know why she planned to kidnap another woman's baby and kill her in the process. On October 22, 2007, she was convicted of murder, and after numerous appeals, she received the death sentence on October 26. Lisa's husband, Kevin, Bobbie Jo's mother, and other family members were present at the hearing, but no one spoke to reporters. Just after midnight on January 13, 2021, Lisa Montgomery was executed at the prison in Indiana. When asked if she had any final words, she simply responded with, "No." Her plan failed, but she became the first female federal inmate in 67 years to be executed by the United States federal government. It was reported that members of Bobbie Jo's family were present for the execution, but Bobbie Jo's husband has not spoken publicly about that day or any related matters. This is a tale of unimaginable horror done by our own kind. A young woman brutally slashed in her own home and robbed of her future and her unborn baby. And all for what? She was unjustly killed, but her memory will continue in the hearts of her loved ones. Be careful out there, and see you in our next story.